Hey, welcome back, everyone. Joining us now, our friend Skylar Gallup, talking about her latest guest on the Hey Amarillo podcast, and I love when I get to meet someone new. And we have Reverend Chad Johnson, who is the new pastor at Amarillo United Methodist Church. Give us a scoop, Skylar.
Yep, a lot of things to love about this episode. As you noted, he's a new-to-towner, and so I normally like to give people like 6 to 8 months to kind of get in town, get their get their wherewithal about them. And so Chad came here from DFW, and he came to become the pastor of Amarillo United Methodist Church, which was a community of people who didn't choose. The Methodist Church recently had a split.
They had a big split,
That's right. Over just frankly the issue of the place of homosexuals in the church. And all of the churches, the Methodist churches in Amarillo went global, and there were people who were left kind of without feeling like they had a church home, and they have created the Amarillo United Methodist Church, the church that Chad moved into town to kind of shepherd. And it's a lovely conversation. Regardless of your personal faith, talking to church leaders is just lovely.
Yeah.
It's really joyful. I also really enjoy asking people like what it's really like to be them, and that's really fun with a pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you find out? I'm always curious because I just am never in a situation where I get to ask those questions. How is it?
He's very realistic. I mean, he talked about like, I was at Golden Light the other day drinking a beer, and I was like, wait, stop, you can't. And so it's just kind of like that, and it's fun. But actually, what it does is it normalizes people, which is really impactful.
Good. Yeah, which is really good.
So we also talk about the split itself. I really appreciated kind of his candor of talking about what really for people that are Methodist was
hard,
very, very difficult. And certainly, Chad was raised in the Methodist Church and has dedicated his life to the church and that denomination. So like a really frank and honest conversation about the split itself.
So I'm going to use the word flock. How did the flock in Amarillo? How did these group of people that didn't feel like they had a place in Amarillo, how did they go out and get Chad? How did that process work?
So we talk about how all of that structure works in the Methodist Church, and it's there's regions, and I'm thinking about Catholic terms for some reason, but like diocese, but there's a region, and the bishop says go, and Chad actually talks about like one of the parts of their creed when they become a pastor is I will go where the bishop sends me. And I know it's cool. It's very cool to think about, and then all of that, and this is his job.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really fun part of the conversation is that, and we talk about, it's like, how are you called to be a pastor? And I say in it, I think that we kind of think it's like this divine intervention and there's a burning bush.
Like says, hey, it's time.
Or like slaps you on the forehead.
Yeah.
And he actually talks about, it's a slow conversation. And he said that he spent a lot of his time trying to convince God that it wasn't him, that he wasn't a teacher and wasn't a leader. And so it's a lovely, lovely conversation about religion. Yeah. A lovely conversation about our community through the eyes of a newcomer, but also kind of like the realities of like what a pastor is. And
I love it.
Yeah.
I love religion. I love the study of it, and so I'm excited to hear this episode. And one of the things about the church, it's actually near us. It's over in the Olson Park area, right off of South Bell, over kind of behind that there's a little park out there, and it's just kind of tucked away there on Bell.
Yeah, they're sharing a space. It's really a lovely. It's a lovely little setup.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. Make sure you download the latest episode. There are some definitely good ones on there.
Thank you.
And even if you can't listen every week, we still want you to subscribe. And it'll go in there and just be a part of that. And wherever you download, I do mine on Apple.
Me too.
And so you just do it. It's pretty easy. Thank you for being here, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.